Facebook ads. The next thing I talk about is our print center. So our print center, we have in-house here in our headquarters in Chantilly. And first of all, there's a couple things with print center. One, all of our offices, you can print regular, everyday color printing for free. We are not nickel and diming you 5 cents here, 10 cents here. Another. Look, that's work printing, okay? Does that mean 500 flyers for your church picnic this weekend? Probably not so much, right? But you want to print brochures, you want to print listings, you want to print whatever you want as work-related, you got it for free, you do that. Now, we have a full-service, great print center in our Chantilly headquarters next to me. We've got 3 great workers that work all day and make this thing great, and then somebody comes in nights and weekends and continues to print stuff. We've got 3 19-foot machines and a couple smaller machines and cutters and a whole thing. You know, if you're ever in town, come take a look at it. Now, why do we have all this stuff? Because we want to create high first-class printing for you, cheaper and more efficiently than you could do on the open market, because I think it will help you create more business. You're going to find, like with a lot of the things I talk about, these are not profit centers for us. We lose money on them because I want to offer them out. It's a great deal to you or free to you so that you can create more business. I'm playing the long game. If I invest in your business, I'm going to create more business for you. You're going to be more successful. We'll collect some admin fees, but you're going to be thankful you use Cardinal Title Group, and you're also going to tell people how great this place is. So I'm playing the long game. I'm not trying to make money in the print center. I'm trying to help you make more money in the print center. So what do? First thing, we give you 300 free postcards when you join Samson Properties. So this is for your sphere of influence. Hey, I've joined Samson. I have more tools and resources to be a better agent for you going forward. You can customize it however you want. Now, the reality is, do most people care or know where you work? No, they don't. They hired you for you. They were referred you because they like you or somebody else used you, okay? They don't even care or know where you work. So it's not really the announcement, but it's that touch point that you're reaching back out to and reminding them, I'm the great realtor in the business and I'd love to help you out, but here's how you can get in touch with me. So 300 free when you join. The next thing we do on an ongoing basis is we give you 100 free just listed postcards for every time you list a home. So every time you list, 100 just listed postcards. Every time you do an open house, 300 free postcards to renters around that open house. Why renters? Because they're your next buyers for that house, maybe, if they're renting in the area, or new buyers that you can meet. Hopefully they'll fall in love with your great personality, and now you can go help them be their buyer agent going forward. So I'm trying to create new buyers for you by giving you 300 postcards to renters around that open house every single time. So 100 and 300 free every time. We say, Donnie, that's great. I want to do more. Okay, fantastic. So those were our standard level of postcard that I was holding up. Standard, you can't see them because you're on TV. Standard is regular cardstock, and it doesn't bleed all the way to the edge, so the color doesn't go around to the edge. Those are standard. We also have premium options. Premium is much thicker paper, and it bleeds all the way to the edge. The color, you can see that the images go all the way to the edge. Much more impressive if you're sitting here holding them. They're a great postcard. So if you want more than just the free that we give you, you can do standard for 45 cents each, premium for 50 cents each. That is including the printing, the paper, the manpower to put them together, the labeling, the postage, taking them to the post office, everything. You email in the postcard, email in where you want it sent. We do everything else. Just charge your credit card or give you whatever you got for free. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but to a realtor's kid that grew up in my high school years sitting there putting labels on all night, watching the Orioles with my dad and my brother, that's a big deal. For $2 an hour, I'd be like, Donnie, go put some labels on. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to put labels. You want to eat? Put some labels on those postcards, Donnie. So that's how we grew up, is having to do all this stuff manually. There were hours and hours of work. Now we can do all that for you for free at a much cheaper cost. So 45 cents and 50 cents each, including postage. Now maybe you say that premium postcard's great, Donnie, but I want to be able to say more. So we have a 4-page premium newsletter. This is great quality paper, bleeds all the way to the edge. We send out a templated newsletter once a month. Now, don't use my newsletter. Donnie, that doesn't make any sense. Why do you say not to use it? Because it's very generic, right? If you're going to spend the time to send out a newsletter, I would give you one of 2 purposes, at least in my mind. You can come up with others. One purpose, send it to the people you know, your past clients, your sphere of influence, your people that are in your circle, your database. Now that's going to be more about you. What do you think about the real estate market? What are some recent houses you've sold? On the back, it might be something personal. Hey, my daughter's got picked captain of the field hockey team. She's kicking tail at Light Ridge. Yeah, go Ava. So the 4-page news are going to be more about you, the business, everything you got going on. I'm going to send that to my sphere of influence. The second kind might be farming a neighborhood. If I'm going to send this to South Riding, make it about South Riding. So I'm going to, in there, I'll have the recent houses that have sold in South Riding. I might on the front say, hey, remember we got the big movie in the pool. We got the big dog swim to close out the summer. Whatever it is going on in the neighborhood that people care about, put that in the newsletter. You can't position yourself as the neighborhood expert and not make the newsletter about the neighborhood, right? So you can modify this and email it for free, or you can print it in this beautiful paper and they will mail it right into homes for just $1 each. $1 each. The reality is that probably costs $3, $4 if you outsource it somewhere else with postage and the whole 9 yards. So why would I do this if it were me? And again, this is not required. These are just options to help you make more money. Our top realtors are making tons of money off their newsletters. So I'm going to use my 2 examples. One, if I send this to my sphere of influence, and I know 300 people on my sphere of influence, and I send it $300 a month, times 12 months is $3,600. You cannot convince me that if I spent $3,600 this year making sure that my 300 people had a beautiful newsletter once a month, then I'm not going to get half of one more referral this year to make up for the $3,600. You're going to get 4, 5, 6 more referrals from your sphere of influence because they're connecting with you more, know you're in the business, know you're a pro, because they're reminded about that every month. Now the farm. My Uncle Casey is one of our top realtors. His team's done over $100 million in volume this year. Casey sends 5,000 newsletters a month to the town of Vienna. Why? Because he likes spending $5,000? No. It's because every time he does it, he gets $2 million listing calls. Well, if you told me I had the chance to make $40,000 every single time I spent $5, I'd do it every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So the newsletters, a lot of our top agents are all over this and they're able to leverage it. Now, if this costs $3 or $4 each, Casey can't do that, right? He's not spending 15 or 20 grand. Now he better get hits. But at 5 grand, that's a lot of possible upside there to sending this newsletter out. So that's available for you, $1 in the mail, a great option too. The next necessary evil when it comes to printing is brochures. So we have 3 levels of brochure. We've got the standard brochure, which is 4 pages, regular paper. It's fine. You can print these at your local offices or wherever you want. Templates that you can plug and play, easy to do. Now, the 2 levels that I would look at if I were out there seriously selling, and our print center can do, are premium versions. This is a 4-page premium newsletter, much thicker, great cardstock. Comes across as very good. Our realtor said this would cost $152 if they're out there trying to buy this in the industry or from other print centers. We charge just 50 cents each. 50 cents each for a 4-page beautiful premium newsletter, premium brochure that you can give out and put in your homes. The next one is, this is the one I would be all over, your 8-page premium newsletter. This is 8 pages of premium goodness. We have it horizontally and vertically. We have them both ways. But Donnie, that's got to cost $2 or $3. That is super impressive. That 8-page book, it's really great, it's thick. Nope, just 75 cents each. 75 cents each. That's all we do. 75 cents each. I lose money on this stuff, but this is super impressive. Now, between you and I in the fence post, brochure ever going to sell a house? Probably not, right? But who loves them some brochures? The seller. All of you that were watching at home, hopefully just answer with me. The seller loves brochures. They want to see how pretty their house is going to look in this beautiful paper, and they want to sit on their island and look beautiful the whole time they're in it. So you're going to win that seller over. Who else loves brochures or sees them? Your neighbors. Not your neighbors, the neighbors of the house. But the neighbors of the house, they come in, right? Let's think about this. Now, your job is always to sell that house for the most money you can. But how do you build a successful real estate career? By doing all the right things all the time consistently, in my opinion. That's how I built a good career. So what does that mean? Well, I've put the Facebook ads out everybody saw. I've done the postcards that everybody saw. I've done a great job marketing the property. I've got great signage. I've got my 123center.com website that everybody's seen. And then they walk in and they see these beautiful 8-page brochures on the counter. Well, they're going to be like, honey, I don't know when we're going to sell, but when we do, we got to interview Donnie because he's got his stuff together because you've done all these beautiful things right and they've noticed in the neighborhood. That's how you go from 1 listing to 2 listings to 3 listings to 7 listings in that neighborhood. You create better business by doing a great job. People come to me all the time like, oh, Donnie was great. I sold the house before it even hit the market. I barely even got it in bright. I didn't do any brochures, no sign, no nothing. That's great. I'm really proud of you. But you know what you did? You missed out on an opportunity to excel and show the neighborhood what a great marketer you were. Okay? Now, let's put aside the issue of did you really get the seller the most money for? That's a whole different conversation, right? But we give you a great, easy job to do great marketing at super cheap cost. 75 cents each. 50 of these is $37 on a big listing. That is a rounding error for how much money we get paid to list properties. So the 8-page brochure I'd be all about. The last thing we do in our print center is we have buyer and seller guides. These are fully customizable guides that you can download and modify every single word of it, every single picture of it, whatever it is that you want to do on our nest, our cardinal nest, which I'll show you later. So it's let's go find a house, and you got a contract, now what? Now, I really love these for 2 reasons. One is managing the client's expectations. You've laid out every single step of the process before it started. Now, you're still going to have to repeat yourself and talk through things, but you've given them a guide to really be a much more educated buyer or seller through this process, right? So that's huge. The second reason is first impression. So you meet somebody at an open house, you're at your kid's game this weekend, and they say, hey, I'm thinking about buying. Well, giving them your card and saying I'll follow up tomorrow, that's fine. But what if you give them this beautiful buyer guide? It's the Donnie Sampson buyer guide. It's got my picture on it, my words, and looks great. Now, imagine you're Donnie Sampson. You wanted to say your name, not mine. But you get the idea. You got a customizable buyer guide or seller guide. Well, they're going to walk away going, look, I don't know if I'm buying or selling or not, but if I do, Donnie's my man. This is beautiful. He has got to be on it. He's given me the whole game and the whole game plan to how the whole game's going to play, and the game hasn't even started yet. We haven't even kicked off. I do a lot of sports analogies, my bad. But we've given you the whole playbook before the game starts. This buyer and seller guides are awesome. You can email them for free, or if you want to print them in a beautiful book like this, they're 10 cents a page. 10 cents a page for a booklet. So if it's 20 pages, this is $2. 12-page seller guide, $1.20. That is nothing. I'd have 20 of those in my car at all times, ready to give to prospective people to make that great first impression that you want to make. So our booklets are a great part of what we do at the Print Center.